Today, folks, we got to discuss the cooling Canadian real estate market, more particularly the Toronto and surrounding Toronto areas with condos and detached homes seeing the first real decline in a very long time here because interest rates are going up. I want to discuss the future of real estate. We're going to go over a lot of data points here, and if that's something you can appreciate, hit that like button. Being a millennial, kind of sidelining the real estate market, praying to God things start to slow down here, so inevitably one day I can buy a house and save up enough before the prices, go up higher than I can even save to get that down payment. But taking a look, the average home price based off this data coming out of March was the first bit of data where we started seeing a cool down period where homes dropped 3% on a month over month basis to an average selling price of $1,052 million, and it's still up 21% year over year here. But again, a lot is changing in April, and I think this data from March looks even crazier when you look at the long chart here on 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, and 5-bedroom homes. It's kind of nuts here, guys, that you could have bought a house in the early 2000s for like $150,000, and today that's worth over $1 million. That is some pretty insane ridiculousness, right? And taking a look at condo prices going into March here, guys, just as astounding, right? Like, who would have thought condo prices, like 2-bedroom condos, would be the best performing asset when condos usually don't go up that much in value? But even from 2015 timeframe when you could have bought it for 400, you're now flipping it for that 700 to 800,000. It's unbelievable. And just taking a look at real estate in areas that I personally like looking at, like Richmond Hill, Markham. We can take a look at the Shopston Mills area. This is where I used to work a lot, and I always really fixated on this real estate because these are very nice areas to live, very close to the downtown core. And I've noticed that condo prices have really started to pull back here. Anything that was selling in the 800s has pulled back into the 7s. Most things in the 6s are now into the 5s, and I think this is starting to get the millennials a little excited because I feel like boomers were terrified the market was going to crash, and millennials had pitchforks saying we want it to come down. So it looks like, yeah, guys, we're finally seeing, and I think the real estate market is in a bubble. Personally, I've been saying that for a while. A lot of the bank advisors have been coming out saying that if real estate doesn't cool off, we're heading into real bubbly territory. But I think this is going to be very, very healthy. And I'm not thinking we're going to crash to some severe prices, but let's look at some of the data here because this is unusual, guys. April home sales were down 41% from last year and 27% since March. Since March, a quarter of home volume sales have dropped, and basically 41% from last year. So basically 41% of home buyers last year, and all of that hype is gone. You know what that says for real estate? Well, we're going to find out in a second, but take a quick listen to this.
One thing that's going to definitely come up is affordability and housing in the campaign, an effort to take some of the steam out of the GTA's housing market. Well, they seem to be having an overall impact. According to the latest data from the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, sales of homes in the region were down by 41% last month compared to the same month of 2021, and they're down 27% from just March of this year. However, benchmark prices of homes were still almost 31% higher versus 2021. Many prospective buyers, well, they're sitting on the sidelines right now, and that has fewer bids happening, and even owners, some delisting their homes. Trev is heeding caution that not addressing a lack of supply from a government level will make the housing situation more dire in the coming years.
So what people have to understand here, even though we have a supply problem in Toronto, people will only be willing to pay so much for real estate in an interest-raising environment, and it is insane at how many people just decided to sit on their hands, which means the volume of homes that are currently on the market that aren't selling, if those people are desperate to get out of those, they're going to be lowering those prices to get those things sold, right? So this is a sign that things are going in the other direction here. So in this article, I just want to read through this one highlight relating to an individual where it says, months ago, it was hard for her to even secure a booking to visit some condos listed for sale, because you remember everyone was just pumping, those stakes with the for sold signs on them into the ground as soon as they could, sight unseen. People weren't even getting inspection done, but now viewings have plunged. She often sees condos receive only 1 or 2 visits a day from prospective buyers, leading her to believe demand has slowed. The slowing is most pronounced in the area surrounding Toronto known as the 905, which includes municipalities such as Mississauga, Brampton, and Markham, areas that I personally like. The TRREB found that the year-over-year decline in sales was greatest in the 905 last month and was particularly apparent in the detached housing category. Sales of detached homes in the 905 totaled 2,732, more than 47% plunge from the year before, while the market's 1,033 townhouses sales amounted to a 44% drop. There was 491 sales of semi-detached homes in the 905 last month and a 40% fall from a year before, and the 685 condo sales decreased by roughly 32%. The drop in sales also weighed on home prices, which have been climbing steadily for obviously much of the pandemic, and were often fueled by bidding wars and intense competition, which we discussed. April's average home price for the Greater Toronto reached more than 1.2 million, down from the 1.3 million just a month before. However, April's average price will still, be up about 15% from the year before, which the average prices was more than over $1 million. Now, this is insane, but obviously a lot of people believe it's taking time for sellers to adjust to the market conditions that we are currently seeing. And even though there's less volume on the market now here, guys, it doesn't matter, because that the volume of homes on the market just aren't going to be moving like they were. And this makes people that are prospectively looking to sell their homes into the future a little bit more hesitant to do so. It's just fascinating what's going on here. And I think this is probably something we've desperately needed for a while. And as interest rates continue to go up, historically, every 1% interest goes up, real estate drops 10%. We'll see if that comes into true fruition, but I want to pass the question off to you. What do you guys think about all of this in that comment section below? I'd love to hear about it, especially if you're looking into buying a home, because now in the coming quarters seems like a much more representable time to do so, where it doesn't feel like you're begging or fighting. On that note, stay cool, stay awesome, and as always, I look forward to catching you in the next one.